one thing I don't like though, because like if I do it right, like more in front of my face, it reflects off my glasses.
Oh,
Gotta figure that out.
yesterday I was watching there was some video of Jeff Bezos like breaking down the four like key fundamentals that they use to grow Amazon to like what it was. And I watched it and it was like, damn, like this is like good stuff. This is helpful. And then I was like, huh, I wonder. I bet I know like what the overall vibe is. So then I looked at some of the comments and it was just all the classic ones like, oh, you forgot the bottle of piss and underpaying employees and it's like all that stuff that people say. And it just got me thinking like which we've said before about when people like oh like Jeff Bezos like and billionaires are ruining the world and they could just fix all the problems with all the money. It's like well that's just kind of a lazy way to look at it. I feel
It's
because
also unproductive.
yeah because there was so much to learn like huh you could have taken some info from that and be like, oh, I just made myself better. You know, I'm going to build a better company than Amazon and pay my employees more. But it was just like, no, just no helpful information. I'm going to shit on this thing. And then, I mean, it used to be a bookstore, and then he pivoted and he made it what it was. And the people that complain they use it. So it's like, should we just all stop using it? Should there just
It's
yeah yeah? It creates so many jobs and so many people have online businesses on Amazon, which they're making incredible amounts of money. So I mean,
yeah.
I get it. Like, yeah, he makes a crazy amount, and some people don't make as much. But he also like made the thing, and it's like the most efficient company I feel like ever.
What people don't realize, well, one, I wouldn't care at all if Amazon went away. I I rarely use it. Like there's nothing I couldn't get at like Staples or whatever,
Hmm.
like I don't fucking care. Amazon's not like this end all be all to me. But I get the allure of it. I know why people do it. I mean, we have it. Ash uses it all the time, but I personally don't care. Like I'll just go to the store. It doesn't really bother me.
Hmm.
But also when people think about that, there's 2 points to make. One, they're always they don't do enough. They
Hmm.
making all this money, and it's like, well, if you really look at how much money they do probably donate to charities. You look at Elon Musk just paid the highest tax bill in the history of the United States that any citizen or whatever has ever had to pay. And it's like they don't keep all of it. They do a lot of good with it. Then you look at the service they built, the amount of people that they employ, and like a lot of people are going to knock on Amazon. And you can always pay employees better and all of this stuff. But they still pay employees pretty good. And the benefits are still pretty good for working at Amazon. The other side of it is people like to knock him over the last like 10 years. But like when did he start Amazon? Like the mid 90s? Like late 90s in the dot com boom? He didn't have shit. Like people probably were trashing him. Who's gonna do an online fucking bookstore? People putting him in the dirt. Like Amazon almost went bankrupt at for sure once, maybe multiple times. Like he risked his entire life for probably a minimum 10 years before he started to have a stable income, slumming it in small offices and whatever. No, nobody was saying anything back then. And then he built it out. Now he has money, and it's like that same thought. You always like people like to complain, but yeah, why don't you go do it? He took all the risk. He had the vision to go do that, so he should get rewarded for it, right?
Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, that's how I feel.
If
And
he
then I guess,
saves, if he saves, let's say people, the shit they were buying at the store, right, was costing them $1,000 a year, let's just say, and he saves hundreds of millions of people a couple $100 a year. Like, if you just look at it that way, not to mention like the ease of access, not having to go anywhere, it goes right to your door in like a day, sometimes same day delivery. Like, why shouldn't he share in some of those year savings?
right, yeah, yeah, that's I'm just like, I mean, I kind of earned it. But then I
Yeah.
guess too, if I were on the flip side, it's I mean, it's such a crazy amount. No, no, actually, I go back to the government. Why, like, I feel like you shouldn't blame the government should just help people out more.
Oh, do you want to talk about the wildfires in California where they don't have any resources because they donated a shit ton of it to Ukraine and money, and we can't help out LA from burning?
Yes, in 1 second. But that's a great set. Yeah, yeah, but just like that kind of stuff. Like why isn't the minimum wage better, or just something where you can work at wherever and have like a good life and do well and not just be getting by. And then why and then you see them send billions of dollars to just to oversee and stuff. It's but then we're mad at the people here who make the best shit that we use a lot.
If you're a good employee, you can make a good living, right? So then it comes down to like, well, everything fucking costs more, right? So like you can make good money, right? Working for
Yeah, I don't
somebody.
even think that I I don't even think that the people are underpaid. I just think it's such a difference
It's
of
it's all
of
how the
how
government's
much you
done the monetary
makes.
policy. They put in all these fucking overbloated government programs. Social Security is a fucking joke. Then they're taking all of your taxes and you get no say in where any of that money goes. And they just do whatever they want with it. It's You pay sales tax when you purchase anything, you pay income tax, you pay property tax. It's like half of your income is gone for taxes.
Yeah,
For fucking what? You know? It would be a much more efficient, I think, if the government stayed out of a lot of stuff, right? Like
mhm.
protect the country, uphold the principles, and outside of that, like people will figure it out. More of a community. You stop relying on the government so much. You rely on
Yeah,
more of your friends and your communities.
yeah. I totally agree. Yeah, yeah. I don't think we should bring down the top. I think we should just raise the
The
bottom
bottom.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, these fires. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, maybe. Like,
Did I can't remember how it compares to like the 2020 fires out here in Colorado from size standpoint, but
hmm
like seeing it burning through a city is different, right? Like
yeah,
people lost their homes and stuff in a lot of these Colorado fires, and like it did move into some neighborhoods, and it was like close like that. But like seeing it take down like one of the biggest cities in the US is crazy. Like the pictures and videos is out of a
you,
movie.
you for real. Uh,
Do you know how it started?
no, no, I have no idea. Do you?
Mm-mm. But I did see Andrew Wilkes posted about something about climate change, maybe, and so it makes me feel like it's like it was some sort of natural cause.
Yeah, and these 100 mile per hour winds and fire. Like, what the fuck?
Did you see the video that it was from Joe Rogan's podcast like last year, where he was talking about how a conversation he had with some guy who basically said LA has just gotten lucky, like with how they've managed their forests, and I
Oh
don't know all the
yes, they
details.
don't clean up the bottom or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they don't devote any resources to like forest preservation and cleaning it up and anything like that. And so he was basically saying like if fires start, they've had tons of fires in California and around that area, right? That's nothing new, but the winds have always moved in a favorable direction, right? Where it's not impacted the
Mm-hmm.
populated areas. But he said like if you get strong winds that don't blow in the right direction, like LA's just gotten lucky because once these things start going, there's no stopping them. Yeah, those winds, like the video, there was a video I saw of a guy in his house with the fire right outside, which, whatever, if you want to kill yourself, but he's got a dog in there too. It's like, dude, get your fucking pets out of there. Get yourself out of there. I don't know why people are staying in their house. Like, and you just see the wind is just engulfing these flames like across the entire side of his house. It's crazy. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
fuck. Yeah, it's so. I couldn't imagine like if your house burnt and everything you own just is gone.
It's crazy. I've
It's just
I've gone. It's
ash
dude. It
and
sucks.
rubble.
It's pretty emotional for people because I've done a decent amount of fire mitigation jobs where the
Oh
houses
yeah.
have been pretty fucking severely burned. Like some of them have been scrapes and rebuilds. Other ones are, you know, maybe we can salvage some of it, but like a lot of their personal belongings all go up in flames, and you're trying to help them out and they're fighting with insurance. They lost all their possessions. Like, yeah, it's a shit deal for sure.
Ugh.
Hope I
Yeah,
never
like
have
you
to go
wouldn't.
through that.
Yeah, I don't know. Knock on wood. Like you wouldn't have any. Like you wouldn't have like no bearings. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't
Yeah, I
have
mean,
a place to like or anything. Like
no,
that's
they
so
spend
good.
they spend months to years in rental houses or hotels or whatever the fuck it is, and then you just hope insurance covers it for you.
Yeah, and then all these winter storms going on at the same time.
Government, man,
It's
weather weapons, dude. I'm telling you,
who's then
our own government. They're
and
causing
then what's
mass
their end game?
mass chaos.
Why?
If our country is in a state of panic, they come in to be the heroes, and everybody gets trained to rely on the government. It's one theory.
Okay. Well. So how would this play out? What's the next move?
I have no idea. I don't
Oh,
think that
well.
evil. You know what I mean?
Oh, we
Like
don't.
they're if
I
if you believe in like those conspiracy theories, which some of them I do, some of them are just fun to believe in,
oh
and
yeah.
talk about. But a lot of it is like really evil, like shit. Like you've lost most of your humanity if this is really what's going on. You know what I mean? So
No,
normal
yeah.
people can't comprehend. We can't predict that. Like those people are
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I would say I don't. even know enough about like the weather weapons conspiracy of like how they would do that. I just like to think of, okay, if they caused these huge fires, which I don't think they did, and then all these big winter storms, would they just what? Do they just make them stop, and then what? Like I don't. I'm trying to put myself in like, okay, what am I gonna get out of this? Even because even if I do get control, there's so much like fire and shit compared to if I just did like a COVID thing. I wouldn't lose any structures, and then I would still have the control. You know what I mean?
Here's here's the big theory, so BlackRock, Bill Gates, like a lot of these upper echelon people that are buying up tons of real estate. Apparently, like in Tampa, right? They had the big floods. So they were picking up property and land and stuff for pennies on a dollar. Same thing happened in Hawaii too, allegedly. And same thing's gonna they can't afford to buy all this shit in California and LA. So, what better time to buy people out of their homes, insurance policies, and all this with the company that makes the fucking most money in the world, BlackRock or whatever? You know, it's
And then what is BlackRock? I know like they're
it's like a big asset conglomerate. It's like financial services, like their big one, and like real estate, asset management, that kind of stuff. I think is primarily what they do.
so if BlackRock was behind this, they're like if they want to get all this land, what are they trying to do with it?
Money, because to them, they could sink hundreds of millions of dollars into these properties, and they won't need the money for 10, 15, 20 years. But now they've controlled and owned this big share of property and will get to pick up all the upside once these values get restored, property values and real estate values and all that.
That's a crazy one. I'm like it's not like a crazy. I mean, it's wild, but why? But aren't they already the biggest financial thing in like the world essentially?
Yeah, but why not get more?
Because you're just causing so much chaos.
What did I just say?
I
These are
know.
these are evil people that you can't rationalize, like most human beings, like, right? If you believe that theory
No,
and that
yeah,
conspiracy, like, yeah, it's not there, there's no human element to it at all.
yeah.
It's and especially like for them, right? It could be money or money as a form of like value, right? They're not making any more land. So why not try to pick up as much land as possible in the most popular areas? And they could buy land in fucking Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, but what's the value in that? But if they can buy value for cheap now in the biggest cities, if the currency, the value of our currency, which the government keeps, dropping, like the power of the dollar keeps lowering, you have real estate, land, assets, gold, Bitcoin, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if the dollar goes down, you got to find value other places.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I don't know. I believe it. I believe in the I believe in the theory. I don't know if that's like I don't know if what weather weapons are actually real. I don't know if that's really happening. But and I don't know if BlackRock's really coming in and sweeping this stuff up on pennies on the dollar and putting people out of homes. I don't know that either. But if those theories are true, like, yeah, kind of ties it all together
See,
in an
that's
evil, sadistic way.
it's so crazy. So I don't want to say fun to think about. Well, I guess it is. It's
It's
just,
fun to think about, and
but
you just
like,
you just hope that it's not
yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah, yes, exactly.
Oh man, it
But
is, man.
yeah, I just,
But yeah, prayers up to California. That sucks for sure. I know. I just did a site visit today, um, working with a contractor and homeowner that are working on rebuilding their house from the Marshall fires that happened several years ago. It's just a
oh
fucking process. They had the house for 17 years, completely burned down, scrape it, rebuild it, deal with insurance. Insurance doesn't pay out actually what it costs to rebuild the house. So it's just one stress after the other. All the while you've lost all your
yeah, that
possessions,
sounds awful.
lost your home. Yeah, sucks.
And then
Yep.
yeah, what? There's some other things. What are the craziness? Oh, the drones. We haven't really talked about those.
Oh,
Thoughts on them? Or drones
my
question mark, I
thought,
should say.
the drones, have you heard any more details about the Vegas bomber? So they did
Wait,
a,
you're breaking up a little bit.
got me back? Can
Yep,
you hear me? Okay.
yep.
So last week we had the New Orleans uh terror attack, right? I don't know, that wasn't a thumbs up for, I'm counting, not
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
clip that. Don't clip that. Um
With that, what happened with that guy? Was it some just an actual terrorist or just some
I don't
loon?
I think so. I think some guy just went off the deep end. There was theories that he was tied to ISIS and all of that, and everything I've heard, there's no um, validity to those claims. Like nobody's been able to prove anything as far as that goes.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that guy was just went crazy. Um,
yeah. That seems like kind of a weak sauce ISIS crime too. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. But then, ironically, that same day, there was the Cybertruck bombing outside of Trump Plaza in Vegas. Nobody got hurt, supposedly. But this is the weird one. So you can listen to a little bit of it on the Sean Ryan show. I'll text you
Hmm.
the episode. Basically, this guy was a special forces guy, I think Army Ranger, if I have that right. Um, and back in 2019, man, I'm drawing a blank on the location, but basically they committed a bunch of war crimes and he knew about them. And my theory and what they were saying on the show makes sense that he couldn't live with the war crimes. They got covered up by um, the administration, you know, and
Hmm.
which is a huge like offense. They were committing war crimes that, could spark huge investigations and has big national implications. But so he was trying to raise awareness to that, and in doing so, he reached out to this former special forces guy who kind of a lot of ex-military guys kind of send him stories, reports, and he kind of breaks news and different stories if they're valid. And that's what he
Hmm.
does. And this guy wrote in his email, like talking about that, the war crimes, but then he also was talking about these drones are some like futuristic technology, like alien type technology that China has in the US. I think the US has it too. And China's been flying. spy drones and other kinds of like aerial crafts over our country for years, and was kind of exposing that side of things. So that kind of ties into the stuff we were seeing in New Jersey. And there's some weird, and then the government has basically tried to oust this guy as non credible by saying, so the DNA in the vehicle doesn't match hit of the person's body in the vehicle didn't match his son's. So now they're saying he went crazy because he found out that his son wasn't his, and that's why he blew up the car. But the theory is that he may still be alive, right? He somehow got DNA or a body from somewhere, right? Probably like a corpse or something like that. Put it in the Tesla Cybertruck, which has autonomous driving, parked it out front of the Trump Plaza where nobody really was. Like nobody got hurt. There was nobody out there. And he packed it full of, he took one of the most robust, bulletproof vehicles that's not going to create this big explosion, right? It's going to contain a lot of it because it's so durable.
Oh
And he
yeah.
packed it full of like random shit, fireworks and stuff, like not actual bombs, you know?
Mhm.
And just to really send a message. And so the theory is he's still out there and alive and just he wanted to fake his own death, bring light to these stories. And so it was interesting. And they had a firearms guy on there, like apparently he committed suicide in the car before it went off or something like that. And they were saying like there's no evidence of that happening, you know? So there's a lot of like weird stuff with that one. So I thought that one was cool, and it ties into the drone thing too. So yeah, do a little research on that one. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
It's
Like straight out of a movie.
dude, that yeah, man, dude, that's some scandal shit right there.
Yep.
That
Yep.
show's so good.
So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit going on.
Yeah, and just so many like conspiracies that just you don't want to believe on, but he's like, oh, okay. I mean, that like you see how it would make sense or why somebody would want these things done. So it gets
People are
real weird.
getting very good at connecting the dots. Like it used to be like conspiracies were kind of just like you just have to believe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And now
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you still have to believe, but like there are some things that line up and make this seem pretty realistic if you can believe in the facts, you know? It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. And one thing that was kind of just freaking me out a little bit at the gym was the fire stuff, and then on the news, just all like the winter like winter storms in Texas and Arkansas,
Yep.
and I'm not saying it feels apocalyptic, but it's it's just weird. Like I've never seen this before. So it
No.
just makes me think like what else is gonna happen? And like is the weather gonna get worse?
Yeah,
And
probably. I mean,
and just like
I think eventually we'll get to something like an ice age. You know,
yeah.
like not in our lifetime, but I think the earth is basically going to like reset itself kind of,
Mm-hmm.
you know. That's kind of what I believe. And there's going to be nothing we can do to stop it, which is depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause it's just like Los Angeles is like just burning.
Mhm.
And then if Texas, like if their grid shuts down at the same time, and like his power outage at the South. It's just so nuts.
Do you remember a couple years ago when Texas had that? And it was like
Mm-hmm.
people like lost their minds down there. And then it killed
Yeah.
like shipping and all sorts of other logistic things. And yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff.
I'm just scared that we're well. No, I'm not. But it just like I just don't want things to get so weird at once where it's like weird, like weird, like real spooky.
Well, and then
Like
you hear,
California just keeps. Hmm?
yeah, yeah. No,
Like,
I was
if
just gonna
that
say,
just keeps burning. Like, what if it just keeps burning?
why couldn't it be Portland or
And I
something,
haven't
you
had
know?
it. Yeah, and there'll be another one. I haven't heard anything about World War III, which is good, but I haven't looked. But any
I
updates?
don't have any specific updates other than like it's still on the table. Everything's still on the table. Like over there, it's not getting better. Like I just had lunch with an architect, and her wife she's now over the she's in the U.S. Air Force Reserves, but she's been over there
Mm-hmm.
in man, I can't remember where exactly, but overseas in that area for 6 months, has another 2 months left. Like she flies the B-130s, like the big transport planes and stuff. My cousin's over there,
Oh
and
yeah.
so like it's still heavy military presence over there. Doesn't seem like things are getting that much better. So it's kind of one of those where one or two, crazy events could spark something. Meanwhile, we have our government who's, wants to take over Canada and buy Greenland. Have you heard those?
No.
And then Trump now wants to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America and something else. It's just, there's so much fucking world chaos right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, ended it. Not like is there. I feel like there's definitely more, but I feel like it's all we're being shown.
Oh, always. It's always the case.
If that
Yeah.
like it's like it's definitely like I don't want to say it's not even like not that it's not bad, but it's still good. Like Earth is still overall net winning,
Yeah,
but very strange. Just
definitely.
weird stuff. And it feels like for 5 years now, since 2020, I feel like it's just been weird.
Yeah, and we got what, 10 days until Trump takes office. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen when he gets in there, but pretty much all the cards are on the table until he gets in, right? If you're kind of a conspiracy believer as well, like who knows what could happen?
I think, but yet still, I think it'll all be all right. Just
Yeah,
everything, and not even to say like the Los Angeles thing, like all right, but I think we'll bounce back. We always do. The human spirit is
I
undefeated.
I was just going to say that it's it sucks that it takes a mass chaos, mass casualty, mass devastation type events like world wars, like bombings, like evil stuff to really get people to fucking band
Mm-hmm.
together and put aside their differences. But I mean, it feels good when that happens. Like we were pretty young when 9/11 happened, but I mean, you still felt this like pride for America. when that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
People coming together and all that kind of shit, which is awesome, you know. And the UK right now is going through their issues, but like they've really supported like Trump getting into office, and it seems like they're coming together as a people for like what they want and believe in. I'm sure there's people that disagree with it, but you know, such it takes getting to a certain point before people are like, okay, this is bigger than my petty, you know, opinions. You know, we got to do something
Oh,
about it.
right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna reset my setup so I can charge my phone here.
Oh, no worries.
So pauses.
No stress. You're all gravy. I'm gonna piss real quick, so I'll be right back.
Perfect.
All right, Ted. I recorded with Sully on Tuesday.
Yeah. How was that?
It was good. It was not nice just getting something set up and done for IC business again. You know what I mean?
That totally cut out on my end. I didn't hear a thing you
Oh,
said.
it was good, and it was nice to just get something scheduled and done just quick. Cause
Just you guys, or did you interview somebody?
it was just us. I interviewed Sully,
Oh, that's right.
and yeah, and we mostly just chatted about like just just like disciplined dad stuff, like just what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah,
Um, but definitely going to chat more and left room for just more like a straight up West Branch forward leaning interview too.
sure, sure. That's
But it would
awesome.
be nice to get that set up and going.
Yeah. Are you guys trying to record uh like weekly?
Um, Still, yes. Blair is pretty busy, so he wasn't on this last one. So he'll just co-host when he can. So it's kind of up to me, just like scheduling everything out and whatnot.
Sure.
So yeah, gonna try maybe weekly, and if not bi-weekly, then still have like lots of just content out of me talking or repurpose some of this too. But
Sure. Sure.
yeah, I would just
Nice.
have to see how 2 times a week would work to record. But there's always the weekends, you know what I mean. So,
Yep.
but we'll definitely try to figure that out.
For sure. For sure. How's that new book by Gary? Making any progress on it?
Yeah. It's really good. Just even the mindset of like how to think about setting everything up and different ways to target and very micro ways to do it as well. And now it's getting into things like thinking of like the first 3 seconds, all the differences between every platform, and just
Hmm.
thinking, if TikTok has like a share your favorite food post, should I think TikTok wants me to use this, so I'll get more reach. So just things like that, tweaking things, and now we're getting into a lot of like, I mean, there's been a bunch of specific examples, but now it's getting even more
Nice.
micro. Yeah,
Nice.
so it is good stuff.
Yeah, dude, I've been jumping into LinkedIn a lot more, especially this week and last week, kind of learning and getting a feel for it. Because to me, it was so, I don't know, it was just weird. Like, I had some connections on there, but not a lot, right? So it's just kind of like navigating through like your target audience and who you want to follow, who you want to see, what kind of stuff, but then also like different clients and thinking about, oh, who do I need to reach out to here in this? And like it does a good job being hyper local for
Mm-hmm.
businesses. Like
Yeah,
almost
it feels like
everything.
Facebook.
Yeah, I haven't used Facebook in fucking I don't know how long. So I don't know anything about Facebook, but and then they've got a segment on there that's videos now, like I'm sure they've had it for a little while, but like it's posted up like your reels
Mm-hmm.
basically, on LinkedIn. And so that's been good. I think I'm gonna get my first post out there tomorrow, but I've been interacting on other people's posts, like this
Oh,
other
nice.
engineer, who I've started following. Younger guy just started his own firm out in Kansas, and so kind of just following his content. He posts a lot, kind of a similar style as I was thinking of posting stuff.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
but like today, he just had one about time, like timesheet recording and tracking time and all that kind of stuff, which is important for what we do. And I just fired a comment back on his post, and he got back to me on that and connected with me after I commented on there. And so it was just like, it's like, all right, getting a feel for it, getting in the swing of a different platform, getting comfortable with it.
Right?
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so I'm excited to kind of keep pushing that side of
Mm-hmm.
things. So I'm gonna try to do 2 posts a week, um, is what I'm trying to do. So like Tuesdays, I want to post more like tips for young engineers,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and then kind of like a Thursday or Friday is just kind of whatever I feel like posting,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
whether it's like project related or different business ideas or tips or thoughts or opinions, anything like that. And then I think once I get in the groove of it, I might start recording videos and doing some of that stuff too. So
Oh,
like
nice.
like I found a guy he's a recruiter who does um mostly for like project managers and superintendents for bigger contractors, but
Mm-hmm.
he does some engineers as well, so they help you like find new people and stuff like that. And I just connected with him and shot him a message and um, set up a call with him. Had a 30-minute chat with him on Wednesday, just kind of talking about some things. He gave me great insight, and then we started talking about posting on LinkedIn, and he's like, I don't he's like, it's so uncomfortable to do. He's like, but my marketing guy said it, so he's like, I'm glad it's working and people are like finding it, and he's like, I'm starting to get into a groove with it and making changes, and so it's just kind of fun talking to people that are also scared to get into
But,
it but doing it, you
right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's kind of
it's cool.
and it gets real fun when you just connect with someone and then it's just like, oh, like that was easy, and people want to connect, and then you start thinking like who else could I connect with, you know?
100%. And this guy too, it's like a big thing this week for me was like, don't overthink it, just make the call, make the
Hmm.
connection, send the
Yeah, yeah.
text, right? So like I did that earlier in the week or late last week. I just another engineer from a different firm reached out and said, "Hey, I got referred to you by somebody else. You guys do a lot of residential work. I have a client who's looking for an assessment. Like, would you guys help him out?" I was like, "Sure." I was like, "Hey, do you want to grab lunch, next week?" So we set a lunch up on Wednesday, and it was awesome. You know, like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of talking. We're both the exact same age. He's about to have his first kid, and he's running the structural group over at his firm, and so it's just cool connecting with like-minded people.
Hmm.
And normally I probably would have been like, "Ah, well, what if I don't like it? Like, what if we don't connect? What if like I'm
Yeah.
busy, like I don't have time to go to lunch, and what if this doesn't work out or whatever?" It's like it's gonna be a waste of time. It's like just make the call, set up the lunch, just go talk to people.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then yeah, setting up that call with the other guy. reaching out on the comments. It's like, don't think too much about it. If you have a thought on their just post it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like if you, yeah, yeah. If you interact with someone's post and like it's like nice or just even like just not mean, they like it. You know what I mean? Like people like when their stuff gets engaged with.
100%, I would too. You know,
Yeah.
it's like if I make a post and nobody comments underneath it, I'm kind of like, well, was it the post or is it me? You know? But no, so that's it. Just kind of been like realizing it. I wouldn't say it necessarily like gave me energy, you know,
Hmm.
but it felt good to just connect and with other people, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some times where I go to networking events and it just is draining, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to go to any of these anymore. These are
Yeah.
awful. But more of the one-on-one type stuff where you have almost a warm lead is what they call it, right? You
Hmm.
know, it's easy to kind of jump into a conversation. So that was good.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And it's cool that like you recognize like, I don't really like the big conference things, but I like doing these one-on-one meetings, and then just recognizing that and
100%.
going for it.
100%. And that's where, I'm trying to set up a schedule, right? Do I like reach out to one of my existing clients every single day? Just touch base with them, see how they're doing, like actually have a conversation with them if it's 5 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever. Um, and then every week reach out to, two or three potential clients or people
Mm-hmm.
just getting in front of them, staying consistent with it.
Oh yeah.
So if
And
work comes from it, great. If it doesn't, so be it.
one thing to add to that I love that is you don't necessarily go into their offices, I'm guessing as much, but even if
Mm-mm.
you went to like their LinkedIn page or went on to their IG, there's some stops that I stop at where like I know this one company, they're Vikings fans. This one guy collects Hot Wheels. There's the store that's Packers fans, Bears fans, Star Wars fans, dog lovers. So just with that, like um, if I were to move into like a sales role or something, I could gift them like, hey, I got you a Vikings mug,
Right.
and just always having like dogs treats for the stops, so that
That's
could
a
just
great
be
idea.
another thing like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's perfect.
See, like, oh, I just thought of a message I would send, like, hey, I just got my LinkedIn set up. I saw you on there. I see you're a Bears fan. No, but Packers fan. That's cool. I wanted to send you a mug. I hope everything's well or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's a great idea. Yeah, looking
it's an easy
for
one.
easy connecting items or conversation starters per se,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if it doesn't turn anything to it, great. But I mean, you know, a lot of people have their ideas on these bigger projects or like a bigger financial payday. But
Mm-hmm.
what I've found in my experience, but also like this got reinforced with my conversation with the other engineer on Wednesday. It's like if you just help people out, even with a small project, it's amazing how many times that leads to either bigger projects with them or them referring you to bigger projects, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
different networking events and different circles. And so if you approach everybody the same way, no matter what the project size, no matter how much value, like financially, maybe they're going to give you in that moment, it's perfect. I mean, he mentioned one or two companies where he has like friends or connections at like some residential contractors and builders, and he's like, I'd love to set you up with those guys. The other recruiter that I called, he already made a connection to me with a different contractor right? And it's like that was a 30-minute phone call, and
Yeah,
I potentially could get another client out of that, you know,
yeah,
just
yeah.
doing that kind of stuff. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's not necessarily my cup of tea, but you do end up finding enjoyment out of it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And then eventually, like if you have just like enough info on you just built up, people will be able to go see, know what you're about, and then be, oh, I like this guy. It just gives you
A hundred
just
percent.
the
And
door
the
just open. You know what I mean?
100%. And the
Mm.
biggest reason why I'm doing this on LinkedIn and starting to do stuff on Instagram is more to bring in talent, like hire good people, right?
Ooh, yeah, that's awesome.
They are already going to get a sense of who I am, how I operate, how I think, and like they see me out there active and doing stuff. It
Hmm.
already builds a sense of like trust, right? Like
Hmm.
I'm sure Gary Vee doesn't have to hire a headhunter to find any fucking position at his companies. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
it's like we're hiring and people are like, fuck, I want to work there, right? They know
Uh-huh.
what they're about, they know what they do. That's huge. Like, you can't put a price on that. I mean, a headhunter, nobody knows. I mean, you're paying 20, 30% of their base salary is like a minimum payment you're paying to a recruiter. So if you hire somebody for $100,000, you have to pay that salary and you have to pay the recruiter 20, $30,000,
Oh yeah.
you know? And I mean, it's worth it in a lot of senses, but if you can just establish an online presence, you're already vetting out a lot of people and you're
Hmm.
attracting people that want to come work for you.
Yeah, yeah, and like the right type of person too.
100%. 100%. There's already people that are going to be like, I don't want to work with that guy. Cool. You don't have to do the interview
Right,
process.
yeah. Then
You
like do
know?
that for everyone. Like there's some people that just like me. I like Nike, so I don't really buy Adidas stuff that much. But
Yeah.
because no reason, I just don't.
Yeah. I'm a
And
Nike
they're
guy.
just like shit. Mm.
Yep. 100%. So one other thing I wanted to ask you about that, right? So I'm on Twitter some, but I don't post at all on Twitter. And I think that would be like the like Instagram and LinkedIn would be like my top to get started with. But for me, I'm trying to optimize like placing posts, right? And so you
Yep,
were saying you were looking into that software that like kind of just you can schedule it and automatically post. Have you,
yep.
is there good ways to like just post the same thing on multiple platforms
Oh, like at
versus
the
like,
same.
yeah, versus having to like go in and like recreate the post for each one?
Yep, yep. So that's what this program can do. That it seems.
Okay.
Just watched a quick video on it, and that is obviously like great. But then if you were getting started, it's not necessarily as important. It's like the next level, but you can and would want to get to a point where you would change the copy a little bit on every post.
Right, to optimize for the platforms.
But like, yeah, but even like if you just posted on every platform consistently compared to like not, that's already such a leap. You know what I mean?
That, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
It's like
point.
one's doing like pull ups, and then the other one's doing like pull ups with a chain and weight on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's funny. No, that's a good, that's, yeah. So if you find out if that works, like I'd be into that
All right,
because
cool, cool, cool.
I'm trying to schedule out posts and put stuff together, but make it not an overly time consuming process right now, just because I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, I
But
can
I
definitely
want to
help you with
be,
that too.
yeah, that would be awesome. Like I want to be consistent with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I want to just edit more stuff and just. do more things. So that'd be perfect.
Sweet.
And I can send you all of the like the videos that I saved from like the demo tapes just to repost those or whatever too. So
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then next week sometime, I'd say this weekend, but there was a lot of football games on during nap time. But we should do I'd love to do an interview with you with Iowa City business. So
Yeah, we should.
just yeah. So just
Yeah,
very just business focused type.
yeah, no, definitely. Let's get something on the
Right, sick.
books. That'd be great.
All
Um,
right, cool.
yeah, because I've got a lot of things that we could talk about that are coming up too. So, you know, working through lenders to try to get financing for the insulation business purchase, going through the vetting process for that, like scrounging up financial documents, questions I've been asking, things I'm looking for. Um, and then, yeah, this weekend's going to be a time consuming process to get all my insurance paperwork done for
Oh,
renewal. It's like I got to go through all my project types, categorize them, what my percentages are, revenue, what I'm planning to do next year, all kinds of shit. So it's a pain in the ass.
so how great is it going to be when you can just send all those documents to AI and it just poop, it's done.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think
great.
about that with taxes.
I, yeah, I mean, taxes should be fucking easy.
Dude, too. Oh my god. But
We still go back to the
me,
government.
Katrina, and my dad have this conversation so much. The government should just give you a letter saying you owe this much. You don't, or that's all it should be. They know, like they have
It
all
would
the
be,
information.
I don't understand why it's not just like 10%. Doesn't matter who you are, what you do, whatever, you pay 10% of your income.
Yeah.
It is just fucking easy. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's so funny because I've had conversations with people and they're like, but that's not fair. I'm like, that's the fairest fucking thing. If you make it's everybody pays the same percentage of what they made.
Yeah.
That's literally what the fuck it is. I don't understand what's not fair about it. Well, rich people should pay more. No, that's not fair.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, wait,
Like
that's
if you
not
want
fair.
to be fair and fucking equal, like oh, it drives me crazy. Yeah. That's so frustrating to me. But that's what it should be. It like if you're you can argue whether we should pay taxes or we shouldn't pay taxes, whatever. But if we're paying taxes, just make it fucking easy, right? The
Yeah.
theory for a long time was the government incentivizes private citizens to do the work that the government wants done, right? So they want people to build houses. They want people to start new businesses. They want people to do this, that, and the other thing. And that's why they give you tax breaks, right? And
Hmm.
that's where people, well, they don't pay any taxes. Well, they found a way to do basically build their life around what the government incentivizes people to do. So then they don't pay taxes. I guess
Right.
you know what I mean? And so
Mhm.
yeah, but that's we can go on another rant another day on that.
Yeah, how's it go? Yeah, we should save that one because that's one where yeah, it's like yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but that's one that we should save. I'm gonna write that down for let's see, it's is it the 12th?
10th, ninth, ninth,
Oh
ninth.
yes.
I had another question for you. Are our blogs still legit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not sure if you said blogs or vlogs, but both, yes.
Yeah, blogs specifically, like
There,
writing.
yeah, there's a newer app called a Blue Sky that
Okay.
is pretty popular for blogging and other stuff. But
Okay.
yeah, blogging, and you can blog on IG too, like long form posts and things. Like yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Just
And
curious.
if you ever don't know like what to do for content on LinkedIn, if you just do like family stuff too, like that's just as good as business stuff,
Really?
or just anything that you're interested in. You know what I mean?
I've got a post I want to make. Um, we do magnet tiles all the time with the
Oh,
kids.
so sick.
So we build like buildings and it's been fun. You know, Marshall just builds, but like Frankie, like it's fun to watch the progression of understanding structures like
Mm-hmm.
statics. You know, she's like, oh, if you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
too much on this side, because I'll make her do like cantilevers and stuff like that where it's like weird shapes.
Uh,
And so she's starting to figure out like, oh, I can't put too much weight over here. I've got to move it back this way, you know. And so
oh yeah.
she's just doing it. We're not talking about it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the intuitiveness of what kids, you know, how they learn by just doing that. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even necessarily know what she's doing, right? It's just like
Yeah.
a natural instinct. It's pretty crazy. It's fun to watch, but
It
yeah.
is. That's awesome.
So I've got like a picture of her standing next to the tower she built or whatever, and I was gonna add text to that picture.
Ooh, yeah, that's good stuff. Also, another thing that is becoming even bigger, and I'm excited for, is a live videos. And really just people like there's lots of them on TikTok and other things, but there'll be like music reviews, and people will like send songs and like to listen to them. There's some musicians, people opening like
I I
cards.
love I love those ones, the music ones, like the
Hmm.
music reaction
Hmm,
videos.
yeah.
Yeah, I watch a lot of those.
But I like the live idea, and Gary V is doing work with me, where it's literally just him live in his office, just working, and you can like hang out or just like watch or whatever.
So he's
But
just
that's
streaming
becoming
his
a
day.
big thing. Live is just becoming a big thing, and Katrina was saying like, "Oh, man, like I just want to go live." Before I like said that, I'm like, yes, like you should start to do that this year, especially with like your crafts and stuff.
So do you
And
have
I'm gonna
do you
do
have to
some of
do it
that
on
too.
your do you have to do it on your phone? Like have like a separate setup?
No, it's in the app. Like it's on Instagram. There's a live option and stories. There's one
Right,
on TikTok too. And the cool thing about live, it's when you go live, it sends it out like just it's out
right
there.
away.
So it's gonna be seen by more people.
Yeah.
And the longer you go on, the longer like the more people will see it. But it's still just a great way because it just goes on people's feeds immediately.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's another, yeah.
That
So
would be
that's
cool
another
to do.
thing. I read in the book too. It's just like, oh yeah, live. That's great.
I would need to talk to my attorneys about doing site visits and stuff live.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Or just do
but I could do
like
like
a
office
Q and
stuff.
A, or just like just so many things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, that I think that's great. I mean, but so much of what I do is on my phone too. So like I'm like, well, I would need to get like a second phone to
Oh
do.
yeah. And
That's
that's
what
not me.
actually that's a good fucking idea. I should get like a business phone that's just for like socials. Because I'll like while it's good, but like I'll just get on social and like it starts out as this like investigative process, right? Like I'm kind of seeing
Hmm.
what's out there, seeing what people are doing, I'm learning. And then if I don't cut off at that right time, I just feel like I'm scrolling and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm wasting time then. But then it is hard to just fucking get out of that and back into your work. So like if
Yeah.
I had that block of time where it's like I'm just like on socials, like it's not on my phone so much,
Mm-hmm.
right?
No,
Where
yeah,
like I'm texting clients and then I just open Instagram,
yeah. Yeah, like,
you know?
wait, I just opened this.
Oh, why did I
Yeah.
do that? Maybe I could do
Yeah.
that.
Then that wasn't even like me suggesting it for you, but just saying like, oh, live. Like just I'm pumped. I
Yeah.
think we need to.
Um, the thing I've been seeing more and more about, and I saw Gary Vee's post, and you maybe have reposted it too, but like the online shopping, like through posts and stuff, is like
Dude,
I've been
that's
seeing
huge on
that.
TikTok right now.
Is that I've been seeing it blowing up like everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I'm about to see if I can Katrina will let me make a video with just like a few of her uh
You fucking
crafts,
should.
and then just like it just see just what it would be like
Worst
online.
case scenario, nobody buys anything, but like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
that's worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're back at the same spot you were, you
Right,
know.
right, exactly.
But my concern with TikTok, my concern with like building social presence around TikTok right now
Mm-hmm.
is if it gets shut down in the US. You know,
Fair. Yeah.
like I'm not saying like don't do it necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to be like for me right now, I'm like, all right, I need to get just into posting in socials, like
Mm-hmm.
low barrier of entry. Let's just focus on LinkedIn and Instagram, and then I can start extrapolating outside of that. Because if I'm like, okay, I could reach a lot more people on TikTok, but what's my net kind of gain if it goes away, right? Then I'm back to like, okay, well, now I've got to get back to this other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Yeah, I get that. Um, I would say put a link to your LinkedIn and your Instagram and your TikTok account. Have a call to action on every post. Like, go check out my TikTok or LinkedIn. And if I am 90% sure somebody will buy it.
So what if, um, no, that's good. That's good advice. What if,
Oh, and I'm pushing TikTok or suggesting it because it's so much easier than Instagram to like
yeah.
build and just like
So what
the
kind of stuff
attention.
does well on TikTok, like for like my business related stuff? Do you have any idea?
Hmm?
Like the engineering or construction side of things? Like,
Everything that's better on TikTok, if that makes sense. Like not like I know
it,
that's kind of like a silly
no,
answer, but like
but it
it's that
fucking does.
crazy.
It does fucking make sense. Which is funny that you said that for your answer. That's funny.
Yeah, it's just
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
it's like I posted 3 videos on our TikTok. We have no followers or anything, 3 posts, and they each got like I think they're each at like 100 something views. Let me check real quick.
Oh, no followers, huh? Interesting.
Well, we built it yesterday.
Oh,
Then I built it, but just got it up and going quick.
nice.
Let's see what we got. So let's see. So we got yeah. So 108, 115, 105. Posted them all at the same time. So that just happened just real quick, which isn't crazy numbers, but that's just all organic. 'Cause, like we literally have nothing.
Can
Like
you
you know.
can you see who like likes it and like what like areas? Like is it more local to you or is it all over the fucking place?
It's all over.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
you can see everyone who likes stuff and message them and nudge. So that's gonna be just something I'm gonna set time for too, just as we build.
Yeah.
Is actively going through and what's up? Yeah.
You know, Ellis was on, he went viral on TikTok. It
Oh,
was
really?
it was funny. I was with him and he was in the background dancing at some bar. It was somebody else's post, but he was in the background dancing on it.
Yeah.
And his phone started blowing up. Like people texted was like, "Is this you? Is this you?" You know? And it was funny. It was like all day long, and then like it continued for like 2 weeks. Like randomly, people. Ash's sister saw him on there too. The same video. You know? It was so funny. But
Yo,
yeah,
if you find it, send me it. I want to see.
he's got it. He's got it. So
Yeah.
text, bring it up in our group chat with those
Okay, I
guys.
will. I will.
Yeah, I bet he's got it still. That's so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was
Shit,
cool,
that
man.
kind of has to be kind of scary though. Like, hey, is this you? You're blowing up. Like, what the fuck did I do? Like,
I would never want to get that text.
like, oh fuck.
And that's just out there forever now, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, just all drunk at some bar, just saying some nonsense.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Man, well, shit, man. What else you got?
I, I'm gonna save that one too. Well, I got one just kind of. It kind of goes back to like the conspiracy government type stuff,
Sure.
but I'll keep it short. And this is something that Duncan Trussell said, and I thought about it, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's kind of true if you think about it in that way." So he said, like local TV, from as far as like the networks and all those people are concerned, the show is the actual advertisements, and the TV shows is just the extra bullshit
The actual
to them.
shows, like
Like
what
the show is a commercial. Like that's what they care for about.
is the commercials?
Mm-hmm.
It
Because
seems that way.
like to
Like,
them, it's like 'cause that's how they make money is through
yeah,
through the advertisements. So to
yeah.
them, it's like let's put on an Avengers movie so people will watch it, so they will watch these commercials.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's weird. I never like thought about that,
Like
but I was like,
their
oh.
advertising, yeah, their advertising is the show, right? To hook you in for their business, which is the advertising.
Yeah, yeah,
You do that little loop de loop. That's
yeah.
fucking great. That's great. He's a comedian, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, comedian. I love comedian brains. Like their brains are
yeah.
so good. It's so funny.
and and
Speaking,
he's like a Buddhist too, and like really like he's a really
yeah,
interesting guy.
yeah, he's cool. I I saw, speaking of ads and Avenger movies, I saw an ad for the new Captain America movie. What do
Brave
you
New
think?
World.
I don't
Excited.
fucking care at all about Captain America. And
Huh? Okay, that's
I don't
fair.
know why. Like he just doesn't, but I
Oh
think
no, that's fair.
he plays that character. Like I think that's what he's meant to be, is like a normal
Oh yeah, this
kind of like dude. And
just earnest, just
yeah, and I feel like I should love that, and I hate it. Like I wish he was cut from every one of those movies. Like
that's
not
funny.
actually, but yeah. So I mean, I'll watch it, but
Yeah, I'm
it'll be a
excited
good
with
movie. I just
yeah, with Sam Wilson it's gonna be fun. We haven't had like a grounded political type movie or show in a while. Cause it was um Agatha, Deadpool, Wolverine, and or Deadpool Wolverine, Loki. So all this very like you know what I mean.
Abstract, yeah.
So so I feel like this is gonna be a fun one. It's got a Sam Wilson as Cap, obviously Red Hulk. So
Yeah.
I'm pumped. I'll let you know.
Yeah, give me the deets. How was Deadpool and Wolverine? I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, dude, great. I think I reviewed that on episode like 8 or something. But yeah, loved it or rewatched it. It's so funny. It's just a great time. It's a fun watch. I highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
Those two guys play well off each other.
Yeah, and some of the best action scenes, especially from Wolverine and Deadpool, actually, that you've gotten between the both of them.
Yeah.
Because they regenerate, they heal, like, so
Yeah.
it's just insane.
Yeah. I've been
So they can do
watching a
some
lot of
wild stuff.
like war and military movies lately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
Which ones?
I just finished watching 13 hours
Oh, okay.
of at Benghazi, that one.
Have you seen the trailer for the movie called Warfare?
Uh-uh.
You should watch it after this. It's an A24 movie. It's
Okay.
just called Warfare, and I think the whole movie takes place in like a couple hours or some shit. But it
Ooh.
looks fucking insane.
I'm gonna watch that. I just started the
Yeah.
show, The Terminal List with,
Oh, Chris Pratt.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So getting into that one, it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I've made it through like a lot of, I can't remember the name of one, but I just watched a Steven Seagal, uh, war movie. It was fucking, it was interesting.
Steven
It
Seagal.
was
Oh my
it was
god.
a decent movie to have on while in the background while you're working.
Oh,
We'll just
fam.
put it that way. But yeah, I've watched a lot of them. You know, all the staple ones: American Sniper, Zero Dark 30. Um, what is it like 12, 12 Strong,
Lone
Jar
Survivor.
Lone Survivor, Jarhead,
Have you seen The Covenant? Guy Ritchie's
Covenant.
new movie.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah. How's
yep.
that? How's that?
It was good. It was good. It was good.
So
Go ahead.
continue. I'm sorry.
No, no, I was just gonna say like when I watch movies, like that's like what you'll get out of me for a review. Like I would
Mm-hmm.
never do reviews like you do.
Mm.
I can't remember most actors half the time. Never know like the directors really. But to me it's like I watched it and like yeah, it was good. And
Okay.
like
Well,
I might get some snippets on like, you know, the action scenes were good or whatever, but breaking down plots and different storylines, not my cup of tea.
I feel like I'm not even good at like the. I go just off my gut and
Yeah.
try to throw in like some. Jason Millsap does some text reviews on his story, and they're
Hmm.
like more like I'm like, damn,
In depth.
that's yeah, that's well said. Um,
Nice.
but does it feel like a Guy Ritchie movie? Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cause it's weird to me that he did like a war movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of
They're not weird, but I was like, huh,
like there's still elements of a Guy Ritchie movie. You know what I mean?
okay,
Like it almost is kind of like where somebody like a musician like has like all these hits, they have the same style, and then it almost seems like they kind of want to explore a different element of themselves. So like their
oh
fingerprints are
yeah,
still on it, but like they're trying
okay,
new
yeah.
things, you know, kind of a thing. So,
I'll check it out. Yeah, yeah, because all of his movies to me, like, there's some humor. The writing's like witty and stuff. So just
hmm
like a war movie, like, huh, like, and just the plot doesn't seem like let's make some jokes and have like quick dialogue, and you know what I
yeah.
mean. So I'm excited to check that out.
It was actually interesting that you bring that up. So the reason I watched the 13 Hours movie was because I was listening to the Sean Ryan show, and he had one of the guys on who was involved in that attack
Mm-hmm.
talking about it and telling the story and kind of comparing, like, he basically said like they did a pretty darn good job, like, with the movie portraying what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about that same concept with war movies. Like, you get the, like, bravado and, like, the masculinity and the violence with it, but he's like they
Mm-hmm.
never really portrayed, like, the fucking around and having fun and people
Oh
being
yeah.
goofy and all that kind of stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
he's like, yeah, so we made sure they kind of mixed some of that stuff in there. So in the movie they have, like, some of that kind of stuff too. So
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna check that movie out. I've never seen it.
yeah, it's a good movie. It's got great actors in it.
Yeah, I like the cast, and it just seems like that present, like that, just is badass. You know, like ooh, like I want to watch this. I think
Yeah,
I might have seen like the last scene, but I don't remember it. But I mean, I know it happens, duh. But
yeah,
it
it
just
gets
seems
you
awesome.
hooked into it right away too. Like, you're just, like,
Oh, yeah.
into it. It's not like this slow character build, really. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
like it gets you into the movie right away. And,
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
yeah, so it's good. It's good. I mean, they pack like fucking 24 hours of basically military violence into a 2.5 hour movie or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah,
So
that's awesome, man.
yeah, I love war movies. Especially, like, I like the older ones, but, like, the modern day ones, if they're realistic, are awesome. Just like with
Mhm.
the different guns they have and, like,
Yeah.
you know, all that kind of stuff. It's just fun to watch.
I got one more for you. Have you seen Dunkirk?
Yeah, it's been a while. That's the one. Is that like the beach one? Where they're on the
Hmm.
beach?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's Nolan. I haven't finished that movie.
I think my gut reaction, it's been what, that one came out 4 years ago, something like that,
I think maybe
or longer.
I think like 2017 or 2018.
Damn, time flies. But
Yeah.
the only thing I remember with that one was, like, I feel like my takeaway was it was a good movie, but pretty slow. Like, if I
Okay.
remember right, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I remember. Just being like, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Some,
eventually I was like, I think I'm gonna get off this train. Crazy because I mean it's Nolan. That's crazy.
yeah. Like, I think cinematically it was done well, but
Yeah, I mean of course it was. Like it's like
but just
this is a
this,
masterpiece. I get it, but I'm bored.
but I just think, like, the story, like, you know, the
Mm,
the 13 hours movie is totally opposite, right? It's just they were in fucking 13 hours of a gunfight, you know?
yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
action that you can put into a movie with that's your that's your baseline story.
Yeah,
The other one's a
for
little
real.
different. But yeah, so, like, there's a bunch of them I'm not naming for sure, but I can rewatch them too. Like,
Oh
there's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
movies where I'm like, yep, I saw that, it was a good movie, and I don't get that urge to go rewatch it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But with the
I feel
military
like
ones,
that.
I can.
Oh, hell yeah. That's fair. I mean they're just so exciting.
Yeah.
That
Well, hopefully I never
well
get drafted though.
fuck. Yeah. No thank you. Let the drones do all the work.
Yeah. I'll
Leave
just
me alone.
I'll be your engineer. I'll take
Yeah,
that
fucking
role.
push. Yeah,
I can learn
I
to be a
think
mechanic.
yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'll build a thing in the factory to some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that.
I'll see you in Canada.
Canada might become the US, dude.
Who knows? Ooh, they got some pretty stuff up there. I'd be down.
I wouldn't hate it.
Not too far from here too. Far from you to be said. Just right up there. Yeah.
It's right
All right. I'm in.
right up the mountain range.
This little swoop.
Yep.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, shit, man. I got everything. I'm good to go. You?
I'm great. It was a good
Yeah. Well,
episode. We hit a lot.
yeah. Yes, we did. Good
Yeah.
shit. Um. plan for Monday?
Yeah,
All right,
post
good,
show.
good shit. And then we can find a time to do the icy pod stuff.
Yeah, let me know when you're thinking. Um, I'd be down to do a Monday night episode, but I'd like to get Steven on there too to co-host it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen him in
dude,
a long time.
yeah, he goes to bed so fucking early. Um, yeah.
Well, if it has to be a
So
weekend, that's okay.
yeah, it probably will be. We could even shoot maybe for next weekend, just maybe, but we'll see. But
I mean, I'm relatively flexible, like during the days, like
okay,
I
cool,
can
cool,
schedule
cool.
around it during the days.
Okay, sweet.
So for me, like that's almost easier, like during weekdays than like or late at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll
Cool,
figure it out.
cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm excited. That'll be fun.
Mm. All right, hell yeah. Good pod, my man.
Absolutely. We could almost break this one up into fucking two.
I know. I know. Well, part one, part two. There
Yeah.
can be a bunch of content out of here.
Oh, Bliss Splice, dude.
Splits with Splice. Kimbo Slice.
All right,
All
brother.
right.
Have yourself a
Peace,
good night.
man. I
Enjoy
love
your
you.
Friday.
Thank you. You too.
Love you, brother.